I got to meet Drew Brees, man. I got to meet Drew Brees. I went to the Super Bowl the other day. I was over there with David Spades, and y'all know David Spades, okay? One of my heroes and one of America's heroes. I mean, he's the damn Davy Crockett of humor. And he invited me over to a party. It was a fundraiser. They're raising funds, and so we go there, and it's nice. There's like rich people, and somebody was like being real rich, and then somebody was next to him, and they were, so they started crying, and the other person's like, "Don't cry, you're rich," So people were just being fucking rich in this place, and so we walk up, and Blake Shelton is there, and I like Blake Shelton, man. I like Blake Shelton. He is an Oklahoma guy, and he just sings, and he's comfortable, man. And I've met him before, and I like him. I like him. So anyway, we walk up. Blake Shelton is playing. It's like the part in the evening at a party where somebody is playing music, so everybody kind of has to be quiet. And we walk up, and there's a guy, Steve Mariucci. Okay, he's a coach. He's a coach, and I want to say he's Italian. I'm not trying to be racial or anything, but that's Italian, And he looks Italian, He looks like if you tickle him, he'll fucking he'll tell you all the ingredients of a cannoli, even if he doesn't want to. He just has that look to him. And I walk up, and Steve Mariucci is talking to Drew Brees. And I've had dreams in my head where I'm like, do you ever meet Drew Brees? Does God want you to ever meet Drew Brees? Does Mother Nature, is there ever another flood? And one of y'all gets flooded right up next to the other one, and you get to finally meet. And so there he is. And so when you're with David Spade can kind of just go up to anybody and like be like, and people are like happy about it. So I'm just kind of milling around in the distance, being like, hey, look at David Spade. And so anyway, Spade walks up, and I'm just kind of like in his shadow, like kind of there, but hiding, but trying to be like confident. Like, okay, how do I walk up to Drew Brees? Do I look like, do I look right at him? Do I kind of look, at the moon? Like, what, how do you do it? Do I, put my shoulders even? Do I kind of like be like one shoulder is heavier? What do I do? And I was nervous, man. And so David kind of starts joking, and they're both excited to see Spade, and they're talking to him, and I'm right there. And I know at some point it's coming around that Spade is going to introduce me. So I'm like, how do I look when he's like, hey, this is Theo? And I'm like, do I smile? So I don't know what to do. So I open my mouth, right? Which is insane. I think that's an insane, you're me. Okay, that guy has his mouth open. And then I put both hands out like this. Like if you ask somebody how long is something, and they say, oh, about 1 foot long. That's what I did. David introduced me to each guy, and it was almost like you had given somebody, it was almost like that guy maybe in, what's the sport maybe, is that rugby or cricket, when the guy does that, Anyway, so I did two hands shaked Mariucci and Brees. And so out the gate, I'm like, oh God, this, I'm not doing that good. Hey, I'm not doing good, And I started just kind of praying for myself, which you're not supposed to do. I know that, you're supposed to pray for others. But I did, I needed it. And I was right there, and I'm like, what do you say? When do you say something? Do you say anything? Who are you? Are you someone that says something soon, or are you not? Do you just listen? Do you laugh? How loud do you laugh? Do you laugh? You don't want to sound like a fake, you know? So anyway, I'm just being alive. And Brees is dialed in, bro. When you're talking to him, he's like, you can see in his eye, bro, he could play for, I think he could play for another 20 months in the NFL. Well, he's so locked in. Like, you're talking to him and you can see he's watching like where the waiters and the bus boys are going. You know, he can see that one of the waiters is running an out route to go on a smoke break. He can see that the bus boy did a curl, but, short of the sticks. He's like, he's called, he's got an audible, he's got Colston going, but there's everything. He is monitoring everything. While you're there talking to him, he is dialed in. He is dialed into life. And you don't even know if Drew Brees blinks. That's how much he blinks when you blink. He sees you blink, so that's when he blinks. He ain't missing a moment. He's locked in. And it was interesting because I asked him, I said, hey, did you guys ever play against each other? Him and Mariucci, right? And Brees was like, yeah, we sure did. And he rattled off the date. He rattled off the score. And you could just, he is just an anthology of precision is kind of how I would describe him. As much as I got to, I got to talk with them for maybe about 10 minutes total. And maybe 90 seconds, I could kind of feel my arms and legs while I was doing it. So a lot of time I was just pretending to, have a stable, what's it called when pulse. The whole time I was talking to Drew Brees, I could see him he was always, every now and then he would glance in the distance and just see if Devery Henderson was open. So anyway, that's a lot about Drew Brees. Hope you enjoyed that video, and you can watch another, and you can watch this one, you can watch this one. Different options, different choices. Some guy just brings you one option, not this guy. Two options. Watch one, this one or this one.